Hey, EJ here. So I'm totally winging this because I was actually writing a post and I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm actually just going to jump on live. So I'm going to share this across first onto my personal page so that other people can see it. I wish they could do that automatically. That'd be cool. Okay, let's see if it's coming up. Awesome. So what I was posting about is about how what I was thinking about in my head, and I was going to post about, was that basically how we wire. Very often, women really hardwire themselves to actually only be able to experience clitoral orgasm. So I'm just going to share this. Here we go. So if you are one of these ladies, please let me know. I mean, you might not want to comment on here, but look, it's pretty common, to be honest. But I understand you can PM me if you want to have a chat about that, because I was actually once like this myself. So I want to bust a few myths at first. And the first kind of myth is that, you know, people, we're sort of conditioned that, well, what I used to hear was only 30% or 70% of women can experience G-spot orgasm, or squirting is what it's commonly known as. And I was just like, oh, you know what, I'm just not lucky enough to be one of in that percentage, right? Well, I can tell you that's bullshit, okay? Because actually all women can experience all types of orgasms, okay? And it's actually, I've got another funny story, but I'm gonna share a lot of the stuff in my book, which I'll pop up a link to that, so that you can, when I haven't finished it yet, so it's a work in progress. But I actually heard it's crazy, the stuff that you pick up from people, and some of these people you might see as an authority. Like, I read shit on sex Q&A websites that maybe a few years ago I would have believed, but knowing what I know now and experiencing what I've experienced, like, I've seen stuff on like good website, like known as expert websites, that is like bullshit, and I'm reading it, I'm like, no, don't be teaching them that stuff, that's not true. Like, and they're actually taking people away from what they could be experiencing. So there needs to be a lot more education out there, particularly around orgasm and the types of orgasms that we can all experience. If you're listening in, please, or maybe you're rewatching this later, please feel free to say hi. I would love to know who's out there, and if you're getting anything out of this or you're resonating to what I'm saying. So what I was briefly talking about is how we're very much conditioned for women into that we can only experience certain types of orgasms, or so basically I remember talking to someone who had worked in the sex industry for quite years, maybe 40 years. She was an older lady, and she was talking about how, only one in 10,000 women can squirt. I was like, oh my God, wow, that's like 1 in 10,000. That's not very much. Mind you, she actually was a madam at a parlor, so obviously that might have been like a selling point, right? So, that's a funny story, actually. I met her through swinging, and that's a pretty funny story. I'm going to share that in my book. But, and I was like, wow, 1 in 10,000. I'm like, that's definitely not going to happen for me then. And then what I experienced over the last couple of years was, I've been in Tantra, I've been in sexual healing, and I've discovered that yes, all women can experience all types of orgasms. And most of us believe that we can only experience maybe a few different types. Some women have never experienced any type of orgasm. Like, I've met some women and they're like, I don't think I've ever had an orgasm. And generally, if you would know, right? So I think that's really sad, and there's a lot of reasons for that, and it can be to do with being disconnected from our bodies. A lot of women are disconnected from their bodies, and that's very much to do with conditioning, things like body shame, also other shame, guilt, and also not being present, not feeling that body love, and almost at some point in our lives being disassociated from our bodies because we feel they're not good enough, or maybe there's been some abuse that we've experienced and we've energetically jumped out of our bodies. And so this is a lot of the reasons why we're not able to feel a lot of pleasure. And so this is actually ultimately held down also in our yonis, like there's shame, layers of shame and guilt, the emotions that are held down there. So a lot of the work that I do is around helping to release that on an emotional level so that you can feel more pleasure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk more about this in my group, the Soulful Sexual Woman group. I'll pop the link on there, and I want to share with you the types of orgasms that you can experience and how you can experience them. And so the main 7 orgasms are obviously clitoral. And by the way, clitoral is actually not very healthy. So when and this is what happened for me, like I didn't even believe that there was any type really that I could experience any type of other orgasm, that was it, right? And so until I did, and then I realized, oh, actually no, I can experience it, but I had to physically experience it to know that. And also the belief system, if we believe that we can't experience certain types of orgasms, then we'll really hold that belief, and subconsciously we won't allow ourselves to experience that. So I want to just shut that belief down now. Like, you can experience any type of orgasm that you want to experience. Like, there's people out there having throat orgasms. Like I'm serious about this, right? And just your whole body, like your full body, every cell in your body has orgasmic potential if you allow yourself to tap into it, if you believe it's possible, and if you get the knowledge, which is what I'm here to share. So, and when you do that, you really raise your energy, you raise your sexual energy. So the myth I want to bust is that you can't have any other orgasm other than what you've experienced before. And when we're consistently doing only one type of orgasm, or we're consistently trying only a certain type of pleasure, then we literally, like if you're, I'll give you an example, right? If you're someone that consistently orgasms by rubbing your clitoris, either self-pleasuring or when you're with someone, then you're literally training your brain, you're hardwiring your system that this is how you orgasm. So how can you experience other orgasm if you've just been doing the same thing over and over and over, and this is what your body knows? So what you want to do is you want to start like teaching your body new ways. You want to untrain it, unteach it, unlearn of what you've been doing, and start to wake up your whole body with different types of touch. So what I'm going to be doing in a free sexual healing 5-day training that I'm doing is one of the first practices we're going to do is waking up the whole body and coming back into your body, starting to associate with your body. We're going to do some emotional release so that you can release the emotions that are stuck in your body, because when you release those emotions, then you open up your pleasure centers. So that's sort of the first thing we're going to do. And then we want to start looking at awakening your sexual energy through things like breath work, okay? And then we're also going to look at some de-armoring. Now I'm going to talk more about this because it's quite a detailed topic, but this is when you're going to release a lot of shame and release a lot of guilt. And if you don't think you have it, you do. Like, it's just conditioning. There's going to be something, at least like something. And if you're not feeling full orgasms, and you know the main 7 different types of orgasms that you can experience, then you have some shame and guilt sitting there. So what we want to do is focus on how we release that, okay? I thank you for the love, by the way. Yeah, feel free to show me some love if you're enjoying what I'm saying and you want to know more. If you do want to know more, please PM me. If you're interested in doing the free challenge, PM me. I'm setting it up in my women's group. And yeah, so let's get back to the 7 types. You'll notice that I go off on lots of different tangents. That's just how I work. It's just whatever comes that I need to, whatever I need to talk about, it just comes through. But I will tend to get back. Hey, Robin. Robin's one of my amazing friends that lives in Bali. I'm going to spend some time with her very soon and do some more work on this, actually. So when I'm there, I'm going to be doing some book writing. So, and I'll pop up the link for the book too, actually. So if you do want it, because I'm going to talk about all of this in the book, and I'm going to be doing it like super chat, like for the first 24 to 48 hours will be like $1 once it's released, and then it will go back up to full price. But it's going to be very sexy and very sensual and very insightful, and lots of other fun things. So watch out, 50 Shades of Grey. So yeah, so back to what I was saying. See what I mean about the tangent thing? So the 7, so you've got the clitoral, which is like really the most unhealthy. So you want to focus on trying to focus more on the other ones, and you almost, can't wait either. You almost want to avoid, like when I got told about this, people were like, you have to not have clitoral orgasm. Like you stop touching your clitoris for 6 months. I was like, say what now? What? I was like, I don't know if that's possible. I don't think that the men will be possible for the men. Like, can they really not go there, right? Try telling them that so you can do everything else, just don't touch my clit. So anyway, but it definitely does make you available for other orgasms, because you're able to unwiring your brain to start feeling pleasure in other areas. So you want to, and it's addictive. It's like men have an addiction to ejaculation. Women can have an addiction to clitoral as well. It's not as full on as that, but if you've hardwired yourself for that, then yeah, it can be really hard, like really hard at first to steer away from that. But there's lots of other practices you can do. So clitoral. Then you've got the G-spot, also known as squirting, which is actually a really nice, it's kind of like a gentle release, and that can come in different, I'm going to keep saying that because I love it, but it can come in different ways. It can come in waves, it can come as a gush, it can come as dripping, like there's no real right or wrong. It can come as like that's you see in pornos, which are actually not realistic, by the way, but there has to be generally a lot of forcing, if it goes like the other side of the room kind of thing. It's like, geez, not like pressure or what, so that's not totally realistic, and every woman's body is different, so please don't put expectation on how it should look or feel for that matter. So you really want to just be open to however that experience looks for you. So what else have you got? You've got the vaginal orgasm, you've got the cervical orgasm. Now cervical is, it really only happens when you're able to de-armor it, and there's a great course that I've done, which a friend of mine that I've worked, Elise Ellen, does, called Awaken the Cervix, which is really, really great, which is also about de-armoring, so I'll just mention that there. And also, so then you've got the womb orgasm. So I haven't experienced one of those, unfortunately, yet, but apparently it is like spiritual awakening. So I don't know, I can't tell you, so I don't know, but apparently it's just amazing. But that's a work in progress for me, and I try not to put any expectation, like, okay, well, I'm going to go, right, let's go on a mission and let's try and have this orgasm today. It doesn't really work like that. You've got to surrender. You've got to allow your body to surrender to orgasm. Rather than trying to make it happen, you've got to drop into surrendering and receiving and allowing, because that is when the real multi-orgasm experiences happen, is when you're in that moment. Okay, if you're trying to make it happen, then that's when you know it's going to be an unhealthy type of orgasm. So so we're at our full body orgasm. Okay, that's another really amazing experience, because you're working with your energy, you're working with building sexual energy rather than releasing it. So you really that's actually quite it can take a bit of practice, and but it's really about coming into your body. It's going to help you really be in your body and feel more touch and feel more pleasure. Okay, so have I missed any? I probably have. Anyway, if I've missed one or two, then I'll come back to it in the group. Okay, so I'll be talking about this all over again in the Sexual Healing Challenge. I'm going to pop up the link on here, so you can actually so what I will actually get you to do is to PM me if you want to get access to the program, the 5-day. I'm just going to put the group here so you can remember it's ladies only. Sorry guys if you're watching this, but this might be helpful if you have a partner or if you have any friends that you think might be helpful for them, or lover. Then please let them know, because obviously, I mean, they can do this by themselves, but it's always great to, and also men, you can actually de-arm a woman with your penises, by the way. Just, you know, that's something I'm going to teach at some point, but it's, yeah, so men, you can actually help women to his sexual, like you can be a sexual healer for your woman. There's lots of amazing practices that you can do. Okay, I'm just gonna, okay, I'm putting this group up. Cool, so I think I'm gonna finish up now because I am gonna go have something to eat, and yeah, if you have any questions for me, you can pop them on. I'll come back and check this video, so just pop them on below. I know maybe you don't want to, that's totally fine. I'll share this to the group, which I'm about to post. There we go, cool. If you want to join and be part of the group, just join, I'll add you, and then you can ask your questions in there in a much private space. But please give me a love and a like, because when you do that, this reaches more people, and so more women can experience these orgasms. And if on a you know, a collective level, women are raising their sexual energy and healing themselves, like imagine how powerful that's going to be, especially for our men, because, you know, we help them to awaken, we help them, yeah, it's all, I make it all, like, we're very powerful. The woman, the energy of the woman and the feminine is very powerful at the moment. So if we harness it collectively, then it's just gonna, like, we can change the world, right? We really can. And I believe that sexual healing is one of the greatest healing forces on this planet. And if we heal our shame, then we can step into who we really are and love every part of us. And it's a process, right? It's a process. And I mean, who doesn't want to have multi-orgasmic experiences realistically, right? So if you want to have multi-orgasmic experiences, give me a love heart, and also join the group and just ask your questions in there. Thank you. Hello from, yes, I'm coming to Bali soon. Yay, I'm coming in a couple of weeks to Canggu, and then maybe a little bit of Ubud, I don't know. So we should catch up. So yeah, much love to everyone, and yeah, please PM me if you've got questions or you want to know more about the training. Just feel free to PM me. Bye for now.